NBC Sports, home of the Winter Olympics, the NHL, Premier League, the NASCAR playoffs, Primetime's #1 show, Sunday Night Football, and Super Bowl 52 on NBC.
Tonight at the Coliseum, postseason football returns to Los Angeles. In just 1 year, Rams coach Sean McVay has turned a 4-12 team into division champions and helped Jared Goff and Todd Gurley emerge as two of the league's top young stars. Now they welcome in Matt Ryan and the reigning NFC champion Falcons on the opening day of the NFL playoffs.
Super Bowl champion, New England Patriots!
The top seed in the AFC.
NFC North champions!
The longest drought is over. The Buffalo Bills go.
This is a start.
This is my world. Spectacular catch!
Won't get another time. Let's do this. Congratulations.
Gurley for MVP! Touchdown, LA!
You're in the dance. Rams, here comes Atlanta.
This is Football Night in America, presented by Subway Restaurants.
And welcome inside the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, the scene of many memorable sporting events over the last century. Now set to host playoff football for the first time in 24 years, as the Rams take on the Falcons in an NFC wildcard game. Hello, everyone. Liam McHugh here, getting you set for this matchup between last season's top-scoring team, the Falcons, and this year's highest scorers, the LA Rams. In terms of what a win for either team tonight would mean, well, it's pretty straightforward. If the Rams are victorious, they'll be heading to Minnesota, home of Super Bowl 52, to take on the second-seeded Vikings. But if the Falcons pull off the upset, they'll face the NFC's top team, Philadelphia, next Saturday here on NBC. For more in Atlanta, the only NFC team returning to the playoffs this year, we say hello to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, hey, Liam, it's been the Falcons' defense that has carried them into this postseason, unlike last year when, as you mentioned, Matt Ryan led the league's #1 scoring offense. Well, this season, they fell to 15th in scoring, while the defense ranked in the top 10 in both points and yards allowed. Ryan acknowledged the fact, telling us, "It's a pretty good feeling, knowing that we have a defense that can close out games." And one of the group's standouts has been linebacker Deion Jones, who led the team in tackles for the second straight season. Sean McVay called Jones a stud and told us, even watching on tape, quote, "You can feel him." Jones told me it feels good to see all the hard work paying off, and we can still get better. Now, on the injury front, the Falcons placed starting left guard Andy Levitre on injured reserve with a triceps injury. They are otherwise very healthy, as are the Rams, after getting back linebacker Mark Barron, who missed the last 2 games with an Achilles injury, Liam.
Michelle, thanks so much. So for Mark Barron and most of the Rams roster, tonight will be their first playoff game. With that in mind, Coach Sean McVay talked with Tony Dungy about the team's approach for this one.
I think for us, Coach, it's just about that one game at a time mindset, having a respect and appreciation for how difficult it is for one to get into the playoffs and then to be able to win in the playoffs. And that was what we did. And I think our players, they feel fresh right now, and we're hoping that it'll pay off on Saturday night.
More from Tony's conversation with Coach McVay to come a little bit later. But first, let's check in with Tony himself, along with Rodney Harrison and Dan Patrick in the studio. Guys.
Thank you, Liam. Now, you sit down with Coach McVay. At any point, do you think he's 31 years of age coaching in the National Football League?
You do get a sense of how young he is. In fact, his dad played against me in college at Indiana University, so I felt a little old there. But I tell you what, being around him, you got energy, you got freshness, as he said, excitement. The one thing you didn't sense was pressure. These guys are just so excited and happy to be in a playoff game, I don't think it's going to bother him.
Well, I got a chance to spend some time with Matt Ryan, and he just told me that he's embracing the role of underdog. He said the loss in the Super Bowl, as well as the early season struggles this year, really brought this team close together. They feel like they can go on the road and win this football game.
But you're talking about a carefree team with not a lot of playoff experience, and that's an advantage for the Rams?
I think it is, because these guys, there was no expectations at the beginning of the year. They feel like they've already had a successful year. Now we just have to go out and show people what we're all about. They're just excited to play this game.
I think the key for the Rams, don't underestimate the Falcons, because a lot of times when you have success as a young team, you come out and you underestimate the other team and you feel like you can just do whatever you want.
And it feels like the Falcons are playing loose as well, because I don't think many people thought they were going to get this far, even make it to the playoffs. Yep. So you have that interview with Tony and Coach McVay coming up. Plenty more along the way as the Falcons get set to take on the Rams, who have two of the league's best on both sides of the ball.
Gives to Gurley. Stiff arm. Turns the corner. Touchdown, L.A.
Todd's a special player.
Gurley with a house call.
Every time we hand it off, we get a chance to score, and it's exciting. I try to give him the ball as much as I can.
The NFL leader in touchdown.
Why are you so good at football? And he's gone.
Who's the one guy that you're paying attention to up front?
I mean, we all know. 99, Aaron Donald. We're going to find out where he's at for sure.
Pocket breaks down. Aaron Donald got him.
He's such a talented player. One of the better interior pass rushers that this league has. Plays with great effort. He's a handful.
This special edition of Football Night in America is brought to you by Subway, so much sandwich. By Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. By Sprint, works for me. And by WeatherTech, the ultimate American-made vehicle protection.
A sight for sore winter eyes. The views and the golf. Absolutely spectacular here at Kapalua on Maui. And the #1 player of the world, Dustin Johnson, leading going to the final round with just an awesome display of power and touch. Ricky Fowler on his heels. Remember, he shot a Sunday 61 last month to win Tiger's event. Jordan Spieth, part of this exclusive field. Can they catch Dustin Johnson? Watch the final round of the Century Tournament of Champions from Maui tomorrow, 6 Eastern on Golf Channel.
Back in L.A., 51 years ago, the Coliseum hosted Super Bowl I, a dominant victory for the Packers over the Chiefs. Tonight, it's the Falcons and Rams trying to take the first step on the road to Super Bowl 52. Coming off a 4-win season, nobody would have pegged these Rams as Super Bowl contenders. But in terms of scoring, they've gone from worst to first. And with 28 touchdown passes, second-year QB Jared Goff is arguably the NFL's most improved player. Last year, the league's most valuable player was Matt Ryan, who posted a career-high 38 touchdown passes. But in 2017, Ryan threw for just 20 scores, the fewest since his rookie year. This week, Ryan spoke with Rodney Harrison about dealing with the ups and downs of this season, especially given how the last one ended.
Second and goal to go from the 2. Toss sweep right for James White. Puts it up with the right arm. Puts it upfield. Diving to the goal line. A touchdown and a title for the Patriots.
I know for me, coming off a Super Bowl loss, I couldn't wait to get back on that field. Do you ever think about that loss and have that same feeling?
It's just in the back of my mind all the time.
A crushing defeat for Atlanta.
It's one of those things that I would love to get another chance, love to get back into that situation. But I also know if you let it consume you, if that's the only thing you think about, you know, you're not focused on the opponent or the week or what you need to do in the present. So it'll certainly serve as motivation for the rest of my career.
Freeman again, right side, and he drops the ball, and the Saints have recovered.
The one thing that I notice, you guys make mistakes and the penalties really in the most inopportune situations. Have you guys openly discussed this and say, hey guys, we can't make these mistakes if we expect to move forward?
Absolutely. It's been a very open discussion.
What was your message to your guys?
I think the first thing was listening, you know, hearing how other guys were feeling and just saying, you know, like, it's okay. We can talk about it. I was pissed at the time, frustrated, angry. I've found as I've gotten older, whether it's with football or your life in general, it's better to get those things out. That was the challenge for me personally, but also as a leader of the team to try and help guys to use it as a good motivation and be the kind of football team from a toughness standpoint that we can really be.
Atlanta beats Carolina. They clinch the 6th seed in the wild card.
What are you guys better at this year than you were last year?
We put up a lot of points last year, and we were a very good offense. We're different this year. I think if there's one thing, we're tough, mentally tough. I think that serves us well because the playoffs are hard. You know, there's going to be some ups, some downs. We might have a turnover here or there, but it comes back to keeping that mindset, you know, right. I feel like this group can do that.
We're going to win it. Just do your job, all right?
What kind of mindset do you have to be able to go on the road and win football games?
You have to have that us against the world mindset. There's going to be 63 guys in that locker room on the team and our coaching staff. And so those are the guys that we need. We have enough in our building, in our locker room, on our team to go anywhere, anytime, and get the job done.
And, Coach, when I asked him about the Rams defense, the only guy he mentioned was Aaron Donald. He didn't mention anybody in the secondary, but also he mentioned that they were tougher, more mentally tougher this year than they were last year.
Well, I want to see that toughness, too. And to me, the key to this game is going to be head coach Dan Quinn. Go to Steve Sarkisian, your offensive coordinator, and say, you know what, we're not going to play like we played in the Super Bowl. We're going to run the ball at this small Rams defense, show that toughness, and that's how we're going to win the game today.
Kickoff coming up in about 20 minutes. Lots of coaching news in the NFL this week. For the latest, we welcome in Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk. Let's focus in on the New England Patriots and the offensive and defensive coordinators. Matt Patricia, defensive coordinator, staying or going?
Well, a lot of interest in Patricia, and my understanding is the Patriots are bracing for Patricia to leave, most likely for the Detroit Lions. He's been with the Patriots a long time. There's been a sense in recent years he's ready. He's regarded as very smart. Lions, the destination that the Patriots currently are eyeing.
Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator. Does he get another head coaching job?
Yeah, every year there's a sense that he's going to leave, but he continues to wait for a perfect situation, one that would give him the same kind of power that Bill Belichick has in New England. So you wait and you wait and you wait for the right situation. I think for now it's still up in the air because most of these teams that are looking for coaches, they have a power structure in place that may not result in Josh McDaniels getting the keys.
Could McDaniels be waiting for Belichick's future?
Well, I think he could be, and based upon some recent discussion, I don't know. Maybe his future is going to be a resignation or a retirement sooner than later. But I don't make anything of it. I think that, you know, obviously we know the story by now, the ESPN report, the idea that there's some sort of dysfunction and this suggestion that maybe Belichick is done after this year. I'm told that there is a 0.0% chance that Belichick will not be coaching the Patriots in 2018.
Okay, because there was a report out there that maybe he would be looking at returning to the Giants where he was the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen. He's under contract, and the Patriots aren't going to let him go.
Thank you, Mike. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk. Well, many of the teams with coaching vacancies will be trying to find the next Sean McVay. At age 31, the NFL's youngest coach may already be one of its best and is definitely one of its most energetic.
Good concentration, great focus. There's only one thing you can say. That's a great win right there. Woo! Give me a woo if you're with me.
Talk about being fearless and attacking. We'll see that again on Saturday night.
The LA Rams and their fans getting set for the team's first home playoff game in 32 years. Now, that one was back on January 4th, 1986. And 20 days later, Rams coach Sean McVay was born. And as we go on-field live, tonight McVay will likely lean heavily on Todd Gurley. The first-team All-Pro running back led the league in touchdowns and yards from scrimmage. In fact, Rodney, Gurley was second on the team in receiving yards behind only rookie Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, he had some early drops this year, but he's bounced back to have a great year. The Falcons are going to do everything they can to stop Todd Gurley. I expect him to go after Desmond Trufant. He's lost some confidence. He's given up a lot of big plays in that secondary.
You talk about stopping Todd Gurley, Rodney. That is the run defense, and it's Grady Jarrett, the big run stuffer in the middle. He's a good pass rusher, but today it's going to be these type of plays, getting penetration, stopping Gurley, that are going to be necessary.
Well, Coach, I'll tell you the best defensive tackle in all of football is Aaron Donald. Matt Ryan told me, he said, we have to block this guy. He can absolutely ruin the game. I expect the ball to come out quick and get it to those running backs in the flat.
And on defense, lining up behind Aaron will be linebacker Alec Ogletree, and he's going to be the key to stopping the Falcons' running game. He's a sideline-to-sideline tackler, great speed. Look for him to have 9, 10, 11 tackles in that run game today.
Well, the Rams struggle to stop the run. The guy that I'm looking at is Devontae Freeman. Wade Phillips' defense will be looking to strip the ball. He's coughed up some. He has to make sure that he protects the football.
And key man in the passing game is wide receiver Julio Jones. We know how good he is, big play man, but he has only had 3 touchdown catches this year. They've got to get the ball to him in the red zone. He's dynamic. This is what they're going to need from Julio, touchdown receptions today.
And the man looking to slow down Julio Jones is Rams defensive coordinator Wade Phillips. He's 70 years of age, more than double the age of the team's head coach. Sean McVay has had plenty of coaching influences along the way, particularly from John and Jay Gruden and Mike Shanahan, as he discussed with Tony Dungy on Wednesday.
You work for some brilliant coaches. Is there one thing you took from those 3 guys that, hey, this is important, this is what I'm going to build on?
I think there was things that you take from each of them. You know, I think when you talk about Coach Gruden, the tireless and the relentless work ethic, and then to be able to get up in front of the team and have a presence and a charisma where you can get guys motivated in an authentic and genuine way. You look at Mike Shanahan and what you want to try to accomplish on a daily, weekly, and kind of an hourly basis. And then with Jay, one of the things that I thought was so impressive, he had a rare ability that was, you know, a reflection of the security he has in himself to empower his coaches, let his coaches coach. And our pursuit of excellence is going to be nonstop, and it applies to everything that we do. All right, let's raise our standards.
You got the job, you're 30. Wade Phillips is 70, but that was one of the first guys you reached out to.
Yep. People always kind of jokingly say, how did that interview go? I said, it wasn't an interview. It was more pleading. Will you come please work with us here? So it's worked out, and what a great coach he is.
Seems like you guys have a good chemistry. It might be new school, old school, but it seems like you mesh really well.
Yeah, you know, we always joke, you know, old school or not, Wade's got more swag than anyone in this building. You know, he's making jokes on Twitter, you know, so he's
social media, yeah,
absolutely.
Maybe more than you are.
No question. He's got a lot more swag than I do.
Lance, you're out. It's absolute mayhem on the headset right now.
I know you communicate with Jared a lot through the headset. I heard him say there's some mayhem in that headphone sometimes.
Sometimes I got to tell myself to calm down. He's got a nice, even-keeled demeanor. He rubs off on me. Just got to stay nice and calm. Yeah, it's all good. I'm a little excitable, and sometimes, you know, I hear myself, you know, when you hear him mic'd up, I say, man, I'm annoying in there. This is a good drive going right here. Everybody feeds off you. It's been fun, and I think he's done such a great job of continuing to improve throughout the year. I'll have to be mindful of telling myself, calm down on the headset.
Turbo set. He turns left shoulder, gives to Gurley. Huge hole left side.
And he's gone.
Gurley hits the Jets midfield.
He's gone.
Sean McVay and the Rams do it again.
Knowing your personality, I know you're not going to be conservative. Are you going to have to write yourself a note to not get too aggressive in this game?
Yeah, you know, I think sometimes you write little notes to remind yourself, you know, make sure you stay balanced, don't forget the run, and certainly.
Is that hard for you?
Yeah, I think naturally sometimes it is, and but then when you look over and you see number 30, you know, you don't forget too quickly how special this guy is. You always want to be especially mindful of getting guys in the flow of a game, letting Lyman get going, letting Todd get his touches, get Jared into a rhythm.
Finish up your road record, 7-1, and win a division. There's only one thing you can say.
Your first head coaching playoff game, you only have 6 players on the team that have been in a playoff game.
We talk about seizing the moment all the time. You know, we don't shy away from what a big game this is. We look at it as a great opportunity to play against the defending NFC champs at our place in LA, where you're the only game on. I think what it all goes back to is being consistent in our approach, and that's what we've done this week, and I think the guys are excited and they feel confident.
Tough to match his enthusiasm. Did you see his leg during the interview? It just happened.
I'm telling you, Dan, I'm worried about him because I was there on Wednesday and he was already up here. I don't know how he's going to be on the sideline today, but great job of energizing this team.
You were skeptical that a 31-year-old head coach could come into the NFL and turn a team around.
Yeah, it was just amazing what he's been able to do, to come in that locker room at 30-some years old and really get those young guys to believe in him. And I'm one of those veteran players where as a coach, you got to make sure that you're smart, you're organized, and you work extremely hard. This is a guy that has shown all that, Coach, and I would love to play for him.
Yeah, no, he did it to everyone in that building. Total respect for him.
All right, he talked about he has to write a note to tell him to give the ball to Todd Gurley. Time now to simplify the game presented by Microsoft Surface. What are you going to show us?
Well, we're going to look at some of the creative ways he uses to get the ball to Todd Gurley. And you heard him talk. He doesn't like to call running plays. So when he knows Gurley hasn't had it enough, he wants to run a screen over here. But look how how he window dresses this. It's going to be a fake reverse that sets this up, Rodney.
Yeah, and it's a fake reverse to Tavon Austin. He's a dynamic playmaker. But when you think about the Falcons, Coach, they pursue very fast, very aggressive. So all these different things we'll see tonight.
Exactly. You just get one guy playing the reverse. That opens things up. But this is really going back here. And this is what all he wants is open space for Gurley.
And look at these blockers right here and just let him do the rest.
This is like a running play to Sean.
He had 64 catches. 37 of those passes were behind the line of scrimmage.
And those are runs in his book.
All right, coming up, highlights from the Titans and Chiefs. What a finish. Followed by the Falcons and Rams from the Coliseum. Dan Quinn looking to lead Atlanta back to the big game. And the first step as he win tonight in Los Angeles.
Simplify the game. Presented by Microsoft Surface, the official sideline technology provider of the NFL.
Just when you thought the Falcons were cooling off, go! Hot Atlanta turned up the burners. Look out! The playoff picture is coming together. Watch it unfold. The Rams are living the quintessential rags to riches Hollywood tale. Will this one have a surprise ending? Surprise! The playoff picture is coming together. Watch it unfold.
The playoffs are coming back to L.A.
LA's first taste at playoffs in a long time.
Touchdown, L.A.
So we can work for it to win games, to be able to win a world championship.
We've given ourselves a chance, and I think we're tougher for the experience.
In the dance, headed to Los Angeles.
You lose this game, you're going to be at the house next week.
End zone, Jones! Atlanta to the Super Bowl.
All the hard work, the sacrifices that you put into it.
Let it rip! Let's get this win!
Go out there and ball out, get a win.
NFL playoffs back at the Coliseum. Los Angeles Rams set to host their first postseason game in more than 30 years against the reigning NFC champion Falcons, who are looking to start a second straight run to the Super Bowl. Kansas City's hopes for a Super Bowl run dashed. Tennessee and Kansas City. It was all Kansas City all the time early. This is Alex Smith to Travis Kelce, who would later leave with a concussion. 14-0. Second quarter, Marcus Mariota looking for Delaney Walker. And Marcus Peters, who had 5 picks during the regular season, steps in. And Walker is not happy. Later in the second, Mariota gets blasted by Derek Johnson. The ball came out. The refs ruled forward progress.
That's a fumble, Dan.
It led to a Titans field goal 14-3. Right before the half, it's 21-3, and you thought it's over. Smith to DeMarcus Robinson. Second half, Marcus Mariota deflected by Darrelle Revis, and Mariota comes down with it. So his first playoff touchdown pass is also his first playoff touchdown reception.
Oh, wow. To himself.
Just like he designed it.
Yes.
Fourth quarter, here comes Derrick Henry. 35 yards.
And that's terrible effort by Darrelle Revis.
Absolutely terrible.
Titans down 5 later in the fourth. Mariota, Eric Decker. Titans with the lead, 22-21.
Unbelievable.
2-point conversion, no good. Just over 2 minutes ago, the Chiefs are down 1. It's 4th down and 9. Smith looking for Albert Wilson and turns it over on downs. The ensuing drive, Henry. He'll fumble, recovered by Johnson, who appears to score. But upon further review, Henry down before losing the ball. Titans keep it. Good call. Henry then for a first down, and guess who throws the big block? It's Marcus Mariota. That'll do it.
Once again, Darrelle Revis wants no part of that tackle.
The team certainly appreciates what they saw with Marcus Mariota. Just enough to spring Henry.
Great effort.
22-21. Now, when we're watching the game, you said West Coast offense teams will script the first 15 plays, and then after that, they should go as scripted, but they never. I'm going to give you the numbers. 150 yards in the first 15 plays, 175 yards total in the final 38 plays.
Yeah, I know Kelce got hurt, but to me, they lost their rhythm in the second quarter.
No excuse for Andy Reid losing this game. If they want to win the Super Bowl, I don't think Andy Reid is the right guy to lead them to it.
All right, our game coming up. You guys have both talked about how you don't have playoff experience with the Rams, but they're loose. The Falcons lost the Super Bowl just getting back. They're loose as well. So tell me, convince me with the Rams' lack of experience.
Being out there, a lot of energy. They're excited about this, and they're an explosive team. To me, they remind me of our Colts teams. They've got explosive offensive players. They want to get the lead and then turn these pass rushers loose. That's their game plan. That's what Atlanta's going to have to deal with.
Just spending time with Matt, it just seemed like this is a great matchup for the Falcons because they have so much speed on the defensive side of the ball, which could keep up with the Rams' speed on their offense, but also the Rams' defense. It's not like their secondary is really good. So Julio Jones, he said earlier this week that they should have a big game.
And you brought up something interesting with Matt Ryan saying we're tougher. That's what he took away from losing the Super Bowl.
They need to be tougher because, to me, that's how they're going to win this game. Use those running backs, pound the ball at this smaller Rams defense.
All right, let's take a look at tonight's winners brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Who's going to win and why?
I like the Falcons. I just spending time with Matt. He talked about the mental toughness, and I felt very comfortable around Matt. I think they can go on the road and win.
And you live in Atlanta too, right?
I do.
Okay, well, I'm going to go the other way. I like the Rams being out there. This group really has a lot of energy. They feel good about it. And I'll tell you what, if Atlanta gets behind and those pass rushers from the Rams get turned loose, Atlanta will have no chance.
So play a slow, ugly game.
Make it an ugly game.
Well, as you found out with Matt Ryan, he mentioned one defensive player.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald.
Know where he is.
All righty. We'll see you at halftime. Final word, we take you back out to Liam at the Coliseum.
All right, thanks, guys. We know this much. There's going to be plenty of star power here tonight. Jared Goff and Todd Gurley, Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. We have the most surprising team in the NFC going up against the reigning conference champions as the Rams and the Falcons clash at the Coliseum. Al, Chris, and Michelle will have the call. Enjoy the game, everyone.
This has been Football Night in America, presented by Subway Restaurants.